All right, hey everyone, it's Jim from LearnAirbnb.com, and today I'm joined by Andrew Carlone and Richie from Coral.Life. The Coral app is a tool to share the story of your space and provide excellent five-star Airbnb guest experiences. Over the past few months, I've been able to watch the Coral app grow in popularity and have some exclusive updates and great information for you about Coral today. All right, so let's dive in. Richie, real quick, could you tell me what the Coral.Life app is and what benefit it holds to Airbnb hosts and guests, if you can add?
Yeah, so our mission at Coral is to remove the unnecessary friction from people's lives and help people have more meaningful experiences. And when you're traveling, there's a lot of friction that pops up, especially when you're in an unfamiliar place around unfamiliar people doing unfamiliar things. And we can really take an opportunity to take these possible pain points and turn them into extraordinary experiences. And that's what Coral's all about.
Great, great. Sounds like it could be a benefit. When you get into a place you have no clue where things are going on, it's good to have someone on your side to give you the kind of the 411 of how to do things and
Right.
like what's the hot thing to do in the area, especially when you're trying to live like a local as an Airbnb guest. It makes it very easy as a host, I'm guessing, to give people that local experience with Coral. Am I right?
Right, yeah. When you're using Coral, it's like having your host in your pocket. And so at every turn, even if it's in the house, where is everything in the kitchen? Can I use this? Where do I get to do that? Especially taking it out of the home to live like a local and get that recommendation for that coffee shop that has the right cappuccino or any of those local recommendations, those local gems that you wouldn't otherwise be able to find.
Yeah, that's a very valuable part of that. I hear you guys are going on a countrywide tour. Why don't you guys tell me a little bit more about that? It's been pretty exciting to hear a little bit from on my end. I'd love for you to share with the Learn Airbnb viewers what that tour is going to entail and how long is it going to be. Just tell me more about it.
Definitely. So I'll pop in and give you a little bit more insight on that. So starting on Tuesday, we'll be landing in Boston in the morning, and that kicks off our nomadic Airbnb tour, where for the next at least 6 months, pretty much indeterminate length, we don't know when we stop or if we ever will, but we'll be living in Airbnbs across the country, traveling and leveraging all these peer-to-peer sharing economy applications and platforms to translate our lives from something that was typically constrained by ownership now to an access society. And that's something that we're really passionate about, and catalyzing this community that has come around this mission of sharing and living a shared life. And so while we're building Coral by living with Airbnb hosts and as Airbnb guests, we're confident that we can continue to make an amazing product and something that really helps solve a problem, but as we mentioned, with added functionality, create and craft an amazing guest experience. Because at the heart of what's going on in the sharing economy is a part of that transaction. You're getting a look into somebody's life and the experience that they create when you have a shared transaction. And so we're really passionate about that, and we're really excited to be going on this tour and living this, breathing this, building this 24/7, 7 days a week, and painting a portrait of the sharing economy, really telling and educating people on what's going on in the world. And as two young men, people who are growing into this new age, this next generation, we're really excited to be living in the future. That's kind of the way that boils down to. So we're starting in Boston, then New York, Philadelphia, D.C., Nashville, Atlanta, Austin, Texas, back home for Christmas, and then starting in San Diego all the way up the West Coast to Seattle, across the Midwest, hitting Chicago, Colorado, and then New Orleans, Miami, Charleston. So any of the major U.S. Travel and Airbnb and pretty much technology destinations. So our plan is between 20 to 22 American U.S. cities come summertime, and then it's likely that we'll kick off our international tour during the summer.
Awesome, an international tour. 22 cities in America, and then you're going to possibly head overseas. That's a huge undertaking, and at the same time, you're going to be building the Coral product in programming on the road, in Airbnbs, on planes. Does your team have experience with coding on the road, or is this something they're excited about, or what's the mumble about that? Because I've worked on the road, and it gets pretty hard. So to build the product you guys are building on the road, let me hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I'll touch on this, and Rich, you can take over as the product guy. So from an operational and management standpoint, I think as a team that's working remotely, not necessarily distributed as we are, there's actually a lot of infrastructure in place. We'll be working out of WeWork offices, so we'll have flexible office space and be a part of that growing technology community, at a hot spot in the center of town, wherever we're pretty much going to all these cities. So that's really exciting. That being said, as a team, it's really to the point of we've been good about working remotely for the past few months, but since we'll all be together in one place, traveling as a unit and have that office space, I'll literally be sleeping in a bed next to Richie and Yosef, our developer. So on that terms, I think that we'll really get on the same wavelength and in sync with our work and our life and in our schedule in that sense. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some challenges, but I think it might be more effective and efficient than we might perceive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think especially since what we're doing directly ties into the product feedback loop, all the inconveniences of traveling on the road that may not be addressed by the modern services and infrastructure that Andrew spoke on will be offset by the benefits to the product as a whole, because we'll really, truly, genuinely understand the problem that we're solving, and when our product is not solving the problem, we'll know, and when it is solving the problem, we'll know. So that I think is invaluable, and no matter what inconveniences we face on the road, I feel like really knowing our customers and really not customers, but our users and the culture that we're in is really going to make the product that much better.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You said you're going to be actually within the Airbnb units with the hosts, and as a guest, you'll be able to see, like, hey, we need to add this feature to our product because it's such a pain point for you, because you're going to become like Airbnb guest experts going from city to city. I guess you're using like Uber or some ways to get around or some kind of ride sharing. So what other things outside of Airbnb and WeWorks will you be using that's sharing economy centered?
Definitely. So within the city, we're definitely looking to primarily or maybe even exclusively use ride sharing. So Uber and Lyft probably are our two main targets there. And producing content about the people who are part of that shared experience and seeing how this next generation of economy is affecting their lives in a positive way. That being said, aside from ride sharing and transporting within the city, things like Grubhub just released their new Eats, I believe that it's called, and it's locally sourced fresh food that you can get delivered to you on demand. Things like DoorDash to get local food on the host recommendation delivered to us at the office. Postmates to handle simple tasks that we can't do because we have to get work done, or things that we may need that we can't get. Really, literally anything is fair game, and we're going to use everything. That's the plan. We'll be developing pretty much, I guess, a Yelp of modern services where we can start to understand what's working, what's effective, and seeing that a lot of these are location-based and only in certain cities, we'll be able to test different services out and get a feel for how different shared, I guess, scenarios are really ironing out the kinks, and then, as I mentioned before, creating content and sharing the story about how the people are being affected by this new line of work.
That's great. That's good. Is there any cities, Andrew and then Rich, that you guys are looking to visit that you haven't seen before or you're excited to go back to? So, yeah, what are the cities you're looking forward to being at, except for all of them, because I know they're all going to have their own little gems, but is there anything that stands out to you guys?
Well, I've primarily spent most of my time on the East Coast. I've been out west a couple times, but I think that Nashville or Atlanta, not necessarily Atlanta, but Austin, these cities are probably going to be a little more strange for me, just because of the type of city that they are. Because especially coming from New York City, I mean, it's a very unique environment in itself, and then when you leave there, everything else is so unique. So really just anything different from where I am.
Cool. Andrew?
Yeah, I think so. Previously, I really hadn't traveled much. I spent some time in Colorado and San Francisco this year for the first time ever, and that was my first venture pretty much outside of Philadelphia, basically the mid-Atlantic. So I'm having an open mind about everywhere that we're going, and the idea of being able to have that level of expanded consciousness by experiencing all these incredibly different cities and people that inhabit them. If there's one that I would have to pick, I got to say LA to see my man Jim. But other than that, like I said, I'm really just excited to be a part of this journey and take it across country and experience it. Maybe I'll be able to, with the gift of hindsight, look back and say this was my favorite. But at this point in time, like you said, we'll see.
Good. Yeah, having that open mind is going to be great for you guys. It's an exciting trip, and like there's people that would love to do this on their own personal accord just to see the country, but you get to help others at the same time, which is such a unique experience. So a little bit more, just wanted to let the Learn Airbnb viewers and abroad know, how can we find more about your trip? Are you going to be live tweeting? There's going to be content creation. Let me know, like, what's the websites, the social media, everything. How can we be a part of this if we are not in those cities?
Totally, yeah. So as you mentioned, Jim, what's really exciting to us and what we're really passionate about is being a part of this new, where the world is trending to. Not just products, technology, where the world is trending to.
Yeah.
So it's the idea of being able to catalyze that community and then spread the word and help solidify what's going on in this growth of something that's really bigger than ourselves, and that is the sharing economy. So to that extent, if you really believe in our mission, please follow us. We'd love to meet with you. We're at your city. Let's grab lunch. Let's grab a drink. Follow us on Twitter at @LiveCoralLife. Instagram, it's live.coral.life. And then hit our site up, Coral.Life. Subscribe to our site. We have some awesome weekly digest content to help Airbnb hosts, but also we'll be producing this unique content on the sharing economy and about our experiences. Personally, I'll be launching a Medium channel that I'm really excited about, and then Richie and Josip will also be launching their own personal brands. So yeah, that being said, check us out, www.coral.life. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook. Please come out of the woodwork. We'd love to meet with you. We'd love to see you. Yeah, shoot me an email at andrew@coral.life. I'm more than willing and happy to hear from you.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. And then Richie, you said you're going to have some kind of your stream as well. You have a personal stream. The developers are going to be doing anything specific?
Yeah, I mean, we really want to focus on the Coral blog, and what I'm really excited about is creating a portrait of the sharing economy, because people hear that, oh, there's some people who are doing this ride-sharing thing, and these other people who are renting out spaces in their homes, and then you hear the politicians talking about how this is horrible or great, and there's all these mixed messages running around, and what I'd really like to focus my time on is just creating a portrait of who are these people who are sharing their homes, who are these people who are making a living off of Uber, or whose family was saved because they embraced the sharing economy service when they lost their job. I really want to capture the essence of who those people are and show other people that this is okay. We can trust each other, and people are by nature good, and really just show people who these people are who are doing this, and that they're no different than the people watching us are, and that we can all do this together, and that this is the way that everyone is moving, and how we're excited to be living.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you guys both said it very well. There's not an accurate portrayal yet of what these the hosts or the Uber drivers. What is a day in the life of an Uber driver? You don't see that stuff yet, and I think that as you guys embark on your journey, you'll be able to fairly portray that, so people can get a better idea instead of what the sensationalized media is putting out there about the sharing economy. So I think that's going to be one of the biggest intrinsic benefits, is that you'll be able to give a voice to the people who don't have voices yet.
Yep,
absolutely.
Good deal. Well, is there anything else you guys like to share? What would you like? Is there anything else?
Yeah, I think to reiterate what I said before, if you're passionate about the mission, as we're passionate about, and you'd like to join us and be a part of this community, please do. Please don't hesitate to reach out and express your opinions, share your thoughts with us, and engage us. That's really all that we ask, because we can't do it without you. We're incredibly excited about the journey that we're going to go on, and we look forward to seeing and meeting you.
Awesome. Good deal. Richie, any last words?
No, I just really the same thing that Andrew said. We're very receptive to suggestions and feedback of all kinds, good or bad, and we really take it to heart. So we really want it. We really take it to heart in the sense that we will embrace it and use it and consider it. So we just, to reiterate that, get in touch. We love that.
Great. Awesome. All right, well, Andrew, Rich, I really, really appreciate you taking the time to explain your trip, your product, and lend a hand to the Learn Airbnb viewers. I look forward to watching your progress, watching you on social media. I'll post all the links below this video for everyone to catch up with them. And hopefully we'll have some more video content coming with you guys, or other content about Coral and their journey across America and abroad. Thank you again, guys, and thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Thanks again, guys. Thanks,
Thank
Jim.
you.
All right, see y'all later.